Nice management by Pat White and offensive coordinator Jeff Mullen. You get that big penalty on first down that backs you up. And you get a couple of little plays. And when you have a guy like Devine, he's such an explosive talent. Find a couple of different ways to get him the ball. And now you've put yourself in position 3rd and 7 where you don't necessarily have to throw it.
This could be the last play of the third quarter as they are taking their time. It's a 3rd down. They need to take it out to the 34-yard line to pick up the first down. Here comes Devine, turns the corner, close, he's got it. First down, and then with the second effort out over the 40-yard line, gain of 14, and the clock will run down here, and we'll head to the final 15 with the West Virginia Mountaineers not only leading but extending this current drive as you watch this effort.
And good blocking on the edge there to spring Devine.
You know, it's interesting. He can run so close to the ground, and he's only 5'8". He really kind of hides a little bit, doesn't he?
He does, and he's not a very big guy, but sometimes hard to tackle because you don't have a lot of surface to grab.
So that's the end of 3 quarters, and as we head to the final 15 minutes, West Virginia 13-7.
And a whiteout tonight in honor of Pat White, one of the greatest players to ever put on a Mountaineer uniform, playing his last game in the home stadium.
Play action here. He steps up, going to go long, and the ball is dropped. Not a usual situation for Tito Gonzalez, and being a senior, as I had mentioned just a moment ago, he would love more than anything to go out with particularly a touchdown from his fellow senior, Mr. White.
And that ball was put on the money, and Gonzalez just didn't quite run through it. He went to start falling down to catch it, which he didn't have to do necessarily. And let it slip right through his fingers.
Well, this running play, good second effort, but it's not going to go for much. It'll be 3rd down and long. The interesting thing about Pat White, and of course for those of you who know, Sam Huff, the great linebacker who played so many years with the Washington Redskins, is an alumnus of this school, and his number is retired, and there are a lot of people who think that Pat's number should be retired as well. It doesn't mean it's not going to be used anymore, but they put it in a retired situation, and they think that he has given this program every bit that Sam did as far as bringing recognition and good things, positive things. Pass at the far sideline. It's a little bit long, and it'll be 4th down.
Murphy defending on the play.
Well, but before the ball game, we're going to show you this. This is when the snow had really come in. You can see a lot of footsteps around, people taking pictures around that. But they took a snowplow and made the number 5 out on the field to pay tribute to him.
And then they made it a dollar sign by running right through the middle of it, which is hopefully what Pat White will be doing next year for playing football.
Yeah,
he's getting some of those dollar signs.
Out of Daphne, Alabama. Is going to be roughing the kicker. The ball is back inside the 10-yard line. And the tackle being made before the 10-yard line. But let's see. I don't think this is going to be. That's personal foul. Roughing.
Number 2 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Quentin Washington is the man who came in to hit McAfee. Let me ask you something.
McAfee's excited that he's getting run into.
He loves contact. The head coach said he loves to get down the field and to make tackles.
Well, and this is another huge penalty. And West Virginia lines up so funky on their punt protection. They really don't put anybody over to the right side, which I think is a pretty dangerous thing to do because it does kind of give a free run at your punter. I'm not so sure what Bill Stewart, he's upset with a player. I think he might be upset with Marone because I think Marone may have hit the returner out of bounds. But McAfee wears that line.
Here's the, excuse me. I'm sorry. We may have to check with the red hat. I think you're exactly right. We may have had a second penalty, or are they going to review it? I'm sorry, Ed, complete your thought.
Are they seeing if it's tipped? Yeah, they're going to check again. It's this exact same thing that happened last time where they initially said the ball was tipped, so there can be no roughing or running into the kicker. On this one, if you go super slow, you know, it doesn't look like it, and I didn't hear it. You know, you can usually hear that double thump.
The play stands is called on the field.
Yeah, and what they were reviewing was if that ball was tipped, then there couldn't be the penalty, which is exactly what they reviewed before. And threw the flag the last time once they realized it hadn't been touched. But McAfee is a special guy. I think, talking about NFL futures, I think that Pat McAfee.
I do too.
Maybe punter, maybe kicker, maybe all of the above.
I think he'd do both.
Yeah.
I think he thinks that the positioning of the hash marks improving is going to help him as far as taking away some of the more severe angles.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, this game has just totally come to a halt. Pat White throws his hands up like, what in the world is going on? They broke the huddle with 12 men, so they get a penalty now after getting the ball back in great field position.
Yeah, they got to get on back out there.
And White was, I think, upset with what came from upstairs. He's looking at the press box like, come on, guys. He's looking up for Coach Mullen, not happy with what happened.
Well, got to be careful now. Things get a little chippy as White is hauled down out of bounds by McKenzie. Clock stops 13:59. I think what we need to do right now is just let this clock continue to move, and too many stoppages here in the last few minutes.
Well, from the crowd's reaction watching on the big screen, they obviously wanted a late hit.
Oh boy. Pat White gets the pass away. That one's well overthrown, and White goes down hard at the 45.
Well, Pat White is not happy, and if we go back and look at this other play, yeah, I don't know how you don't call it. He gets dragged down by McKenzie way out of bounds, and Pat White, who's a very calm demeanor guy, went right up to the referee.
Says anything.
Yeah, but he had every right to. That should have been a 15-yard penalty on that out of bounds play.
So it's third down. They need to take it all the way to the South Florida 32-yard line. Drills this one, has it complete at the 22 to Jock Sanders. Good for 26 yards.
Jock Sanders.
And Jock Sanders, who's been bouncing back and forth from slot receiver to running back, runs a post route, and Pat White saw him right away, knew that that's where he wanted to go, and throws a nice pass in the middle. That was just a nice move on Gachette. But Pat White, because of the penalty on the punt, getting a chance to maybe put a little icing on this score for his last game.
Well, the ball is loose, still loose. They fight for it, and it looks as though, I think South Florida, yes, South Florida has made the recovery, and that's George Selvey.
Well, White never handled the snap, and I think he made a large error by trying to pick it up and make a play with the ball. Well, sorry, that ball just squirted. Came right, you know, that can happen in the cold.
He bumped it with his foot, which he kicked it away from himself.
Yeah.
And then,
and what he needed to do was just go slide and try to don't try to pick it up, just fall on it. The mistake he made was trying to pick it up, but that ball came out funny. Eric Jobe, the center, slipped right out of his hand as he went to make the snap.
So Matt Grothe hands the ball off, and a running play just straight inside. It's going to go for short yardage with Moore. South Florida in 2007 led the NCAA in turnovers forced with 42. And so far this year they have forced 17.
And remember, South Florida has beaten West Virginia 2 years in a row. And in those 2 losses, combined 10 turnovers for West Virginia. So that has been the problem for West Virginia playing South Florida. And now, because of that turnover, South Florida looking for a chance to take the lead.
Ford, the ball carrier, takes it to the 42. Slavonic on the defensive play.
One thing we have not seen much of from South Florida are stretch type outside plays. Everything has been into the middle. On a 3rd and short, you can try a run play here. Wondering if maybe trying to get to the outside might be the right way to go.
Timeout has been called by South Florida. 11:58 left in our ball game. 13-7 West Virginia.
Filming their signals.
3rd down. Line to make the 46. You can see the players asking for more noise. Deep over the middle, got a man out there, and he overthrew him by 5 yards. Good heavens. I mean, Grothy had exactly what they were looking for, and he just flat overthrew him.
Boy. You know, as well as Grothy played at times in that first half, nice little stutter there by Love, runs right by the corner. I mean, the safety.
That's 6, isn't it not?
Yeah, that's absolutely 6. You know, what he did was he drove that ball, he threw it flat. And that's hard for a receiver to adjust to. You've got to put just a little bit more air and allow Love to run under it. But Grothy's going to have nightmares about that one.
Alvarado. This one is not very high or very long. It now takes a huge West Virginia bounce and is going to come back to rest at the 33. So we'll hold it right here with 11:43 left in our ball game. We'll get your weekly dose of NFL news and analysis on ESPN Sunday. First at 11 a.m. Eastern, Chris Berman plays host to Sunday NFL Countdown. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern, Chris Berman and John Saunders deliver the day's highlights and scores during Sports Center. Sunday.
Kick, holding, number 57 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Boy, I didn't even see that penalty flag anyway.
Let me finish this. I'm still doing Gone with the Wind. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by IBM and Sports Center presented by Bud Light on ESPN Sunday.
Well, and now Pat White, who the last 2 times he's played against South Florida in losses has battled injuries. In 2006, he played with a severely sprained ankle and was very limited. Last year, he's knocked out with a thigh bruise. Now in his last ball game, probably getting tired and not being able to put some more points on the board and get a little more comfortable here.
Noel Devine looking for a spot to run and just not much there. Jack Arute, what do you got for us?
Ron, you and I and Ed know that all these players just rally around Pat White. Well, when he got pushed out of there and out of bounds and he got a little chippy, first thing he did when he came over to the sidelines, he went to every single player on the offense and said, look, we've got to use our heads. Don't worry about it. Just stay focused and use your head. I think that's pretty heady on his part, thinking, hey, they may try to protect me and I don't need